Welcome to this special episode of Complete with DLC with our brand new microphones. So we should sound all silky smooth now. This is just a test episode, though. I'm one of your hosts, Jacob Griffin. Sitting across from me is Brad Knight. Don't have a fancy little intro for you today.
Nope, and I already forgot to mute the microphone as I took a drink of coffee, so I hope that didn't sound disgusting on the audio.
I hope so, too.
I apologize.
So we wanted to test out our new microphones here, and we thought the best way to do that was to finally talk fully, the two of us, about Star Wars The Force Awakens. Yes. There's going to be major spoiler talk after this, so if you're the one person in the universe who hasn't seen this movie yet, switch off now.
Yeah.
Or if you don't care about spoilers, keep going then.
You are a brave man.
You're a brave man.
Or a woman or child, I don't know.
But before we start...
I'm a podcaster, not a cop.
I'm gonna let you guys know when you can get going. But first of all, did you enjoy this movie more not knowing anything about it?
Yes, but I feel like the movie was very predictable. Like,
yeah.
At no point did I feel like I didn't know what was going to happen.
And there's a real huge reason for that, I think.
Yeah.
Gets into spoilery territory. So switch off now if you haven't seen the movie. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds.
Spoiler warning.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wasn't it crazy when Yoda came back from the dead and killed everybody?
Yes.
That's a fake spoiler. That was a test.
Yeah, so if you're still listening and you don't want spoilers, leave now. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
All right, so let's talk about some actual stuff. Tell me not though. This movie, beat for beat, A New Hope.
Oh, absolutely. Like, there were so many similarities. Like, just down to the smallest things. Like when Finn first sees Chewbacca, I'm pretty sure he said the same line word for word as Luke did, is you can understand that thing.
Yeah, probably.
I'm like, that sounds way too familiar. And I went back to check, and I'm almost positive that's exactly what Luke said.
It really clicked for me in the middle of it when they introduced the Starkiller base.
Yep.
And I was like, that's just a bigger Death Star. That's all that is.
I like how they like poke fun at that fact too, and Han's like, "Oh, so it's bigger. You can still blow it up. There's always a way to blow it up."
Exactly. Yeah, that was at least nice that they poked a little fun at it. But it literally was like, if you've seen A New Hope, you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. It's
weird though because it kind of like mixed the three of them together in a way.
Because
it had sort of the Luke, I am your father moment with Kylo Ren being Han Solo's son.
Yep.
Which they revealed that weirdly.
Yeah.
Like, it was just kind of like in a throwaway piece of dialogue.
Yeah.
That Snoke says to him.
There's a lot of theories going around on who Snoke is.
I think Snoke might be Plagueis.
Yeah,
Darth Plagueis.
That's the going theory.
Yeah.
Which would be odd. But
no, it makes some sense.
Well, they scrapped everything about him except for his name. Like, he used to be a Mun. He was, what's his name's master? He was
Sidious.
Sidious's
master. He tells a story about him in episode 3.
Yeah.
Which episode 3 is still canon, technically, surprisingly.
Oh, yeah, but if you're going to keep him and his powers the way they are, because he can manipulate the Force and,
like time.
Yeah.
Like, he can avoid death. That's, like, his big thing.
Well, yeah, that's how he accidentally created Anakin, so it'd be weird to keep Plagueis in and not mention that Anakin was the reason that he was trying to resurrect somebody, accidentally made a manifestation of the Force, and that manifestation turned into Anakin. So that'd be kind of weird to keep Plagueis in, but not mention why, like...
If you really think about it, the Star Wars universe, like, all the bad stuff that happens revolves around one family. It's all the Skywalker family.
Yep. It's always the Skywalkers.
Basically, it could be like a reality show in that galaxy. Like, if you really wanted it to be. Like, I don't know what it is about the whole Kylo... I like Kylo Ren as a character. I think he's really cool.
I liked him before he took the mask off. Once he took the mask off, I immediately disliked him.
I liked how he was kind of just like the opposite of Darth Vader in that, Darth Vader's like cool, calm, and collected, whereas he's just like a temper tantrum little baby.
Yeah, I hated that, honestly.
And he just like destroys the computer. I liked it a lot. The mask takeoff was a little odd.
Yeah, because I think when he had the mask on, he was both threatening and vulnerable. Like, I could see that he's not right in the head. He's trying to be Vader. He's not supposed to be threatening, but he's imposing. Like, you wouldn't want to cross him. Then he takes the mask off, and I'm like, well, now he's not threatening, and he's not, like... I don't know.
His hair was a little too much for me. It was like a beautiful lion's mane.
Yeah. That was interesting.
I thought the lightsaber fight between him and Rey was really good.
I liked the choreography, but I hated the premise.
Why?
Because my big problem with the movie was that Rey went from not even aware she was Force sensitive to being able to do every Jedi trick in the book within about 30 seconds. Like, she had no idea. She didn't even know that Luke Skywalker was real. She didn't know any of that was true.
Yeah.
And then 30 seconds later, she's doing a Jedi mind trick on a guard to release her from the...
You know that not Jedi. That stormtrooper is played by,
the guy who plays James Bond?
Yeah, Daniel Craig.
Yeah, I knew the voice sounded familiar, but it wasn't until after my brother was like, hey, you know that's James Bond? I'm like, oh,
yeah, I've seen the movie twice at this point.
Have you? I heard you pick up a lot of things the second time around.
Yeah, I picked up on more stuff, mainly because of things I had read online.
Yeah.
That helped me pick up. I have some leading theories, though, coming through it, and a lot of them make more sense from the second viewing now that I've seen it. My theory is that Rey is Luke Skywalker's daughter.
Yep, probably.
And
that's my theory anyway.
I don't like that because I hate that every character in the universe has to have a destiny.
Yeah, they're all related somehow.
Yeah. I don't like that, but it would make sense to me. And the fact that she was so powerful so quickly would make sense to me then. Because she's a Skywalker, and for some reason Skywalkers are the only people that matter in this universe.
Yeah. I was, the first, about halfway through the movie, before they had announced, anything really to do with Kylo Ren's origins or anything, I was going along the theory that, they were going to do another brother-sister thing, with Kylo Ren being Rey's, brother. I thought that at first, but then when he lands and Han's kind of awkward around her, so I'm like, okay, she knows a lot about the Falcon. She speaks Wookiee for some reason. Nobody speaks Wookiee.
See, I thought that was odd, too, and I thought the way he was acting around her at first, when he's, trying to offer her that job, was really weird. He's, knows that this is his daughter, but he doesn't want to say anything. Another theory I've heard is that it might be his daughter with another woman, not with Leia.
Oh, that chick from the EU.
Yeah, it's in the comics now that they have. A lot of people are saying it might be that, and that's maybe why he's been gone for so long. In his absence of when he left, this just happened, and then one day he left her on this universe on this planet,
Jakku, which is just
Tatooine. Yeah, and that's another thing too, where where I say this movie is just beat for beat.
A New Hope.
A New Hope is that planet's just Tatooine. She's just Luke.
Yep.
She wants to get off that planet.
Well, I mean,
I don't know who the Obi-Wan in that sense is then.
Han.
Yeah, I guess. But the person who gets her off that planet is technically Finn. So I guess maybe.
Well, she didn't want to get off the planet.
She didn't want to get off.
She kept wanting to go back, and that's where I thought that was kind of weird. Where she says to Han "Oh, I can't. I need to go back to Jakku." And Han's like, "Why?"
It makes sense because she's waiting for her family. That makes sense to me, but I don't like it in the sense of you're on this grand adventure now, and you get this one character who's just all the whole time, I want to go home. Yeah. Be excited. You're out here meeting new people.
He's like that little kid you bring to the movies or to the mall or something, and the whole time he's just complaining.
He's wants to go to the toy store, and that's the one store he wants to go to.
Yeah, and after that's done, he's done.
Yeah, he's checked out. He's I want to go home. I was that kid. Weirdly enough, when I was a kid, going to clothes stores, absolutely hated every minute of it.
I used to hide in the clothes display, so I didn't mind it.
I used to do that too sometimes. I
feel like every kid did that. There are a lot of small things with this movie that bug me, though.
Like what?
Kylo Ren mentions that they have an almost completed map to find Luke Skywalker.
They don't, though.
Yeah,
it's in R2.
Yeah, that was the thing. They said, we have an almost completed map, it's only missing one piece. And later on, R2 has the exact same map. One, I want to know how R2 got that, because
R2 clearly must have got that from Luke, because they say that he's been powered down since Luke left. So Luke maybe put in a...
You're led to believe that Luke gave him the map, took out the piece that would find him, and left R2 there.
See, that's another thing too that makes me think about that too, is that old guy has like that weird flash drive thing that has the other piece of the map on it, and he's on Jakku, which makes me think that Luke gave that piece to him
while on
Jakku, leaving Rey behind.
And that explains the whole cutscene of her screaming no, and
don't go.
Yeah, someone's flying away.
He's with that discount Dexter Jetster.
Yeah,
he looks like Dexter Jetster. That guy
a little bit.
Doesn't have the mustache though.
I don't know. There's a lot of things, like a lot of small things that bug me that like don't get explanations, and they should. Like how in God's name did that small orange chick, I forget her name,
Maz Kanata,
get Anakin's lightsaber?
Well, it's technically
Luke's.
Luke might have left it with her.
No, that's the lightsaber that got lost when his hand got chopped off on Cloud City.
Oh yeah.
And it fell into Bespin. Bespin is a gas giant. So
right.
Unless you're telling me they're like I don't know.
Oh, I never thought about that, actually.
Yeah, and if you're going to tell me that it got stuck in one of the vents of Cloud City, Luke followed the same path as the lightsaber, and he landed outside.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I completely forgot about the fact that he lost that when his hand got cut off.
Yeah, that's why he had to build a new one, and also why it was green.
And that's why he goes on the journey.
Yeah.
I didn't like how Luke said absolutely nothing in this movie.
Yeah, I understand why they did it. Like, they couldn't have Luke come in and then have the plot continue, because the plot of the whole movie was to find Luke.
Yeah.
I thought that ending scene went on too long. Like,
yeah, it was very awkward the way it was edited, back and forth between them.
Like, at first it was cool, like, oh, Luke looks like Jesus right now. He's on an island alone, he's got the scraggly beard.
Alright, you know what's weird is, I don't know if this is just me seeing it weirdly, or maybe like a weird projection thing with like the theaters, but like every time I would look at him first before he takes off the hood, I was like, does he have a scar on his eye? And then when he takes off the hood, he doesn't have a scar on his eye.
That's weird.
I don't know if it's just a weird thing with my eyes, like I need surgery or something, or
but Luke is secretly Snoke.
Yeah, I don't know, probably not that, but
no, absolutely not.
Too, I thought that was weird how the hologram of him was gigantic.
Yeah, that was a callback to Sidious's
was his
hologram in, I think it was Empire Strikes Back. Is a giant hologram talking to Darth Vader.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I remember it. Maybe they've changed it in the special editions, and that's why.
I don't know, but I remember that distinctly.
Because every time I've ever seen it, he's always has, like, the regular, like, person-sized hologram.
I was surprised with how different C-3PO sounded, even though it's the same guy doing it.
Yeah.
But he sounded really different.
His scene was funny. I thought the way he just pops into frame.
Yeah.
He's like, maybe you don't recognize me because of my red arm.
Yeah.
I liked that. I don't like how little R2 is in the movie, but we got that in spades with BB-8. I love BB-8.
Yeah, I think BB-8 is everything R2 was, but self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't constantly need rescuing because he just gets himself out of situations. He's the comedy. He's the, he's everything you need in a droid. Speaking
of the comedy, I want to talk about that. That was a big positive in this movie. I thought the comedy was really good.
I think Finn really drove that home. I think he was kind of the...
I liked the first line that Poe Dameron kind of really says when Kylo Ren gets him and he's like, do you talk? Do I talk? Like, who talks first? Like, I liked that a lot. I like the thing with Finn on the ship, and like I thought him and Rey had a good back and forth with each other.
Who, Poe or Finn?
Finn. I thought
absolutely.
Finn and Rey had a good back and forth with each other. Like when they're in the chase and they're running away, and she's like, "Why are you holding my hand?"
Yeah.
Like, I liked that a lot. I thought overall though the humor, it was real Guardians of the Galaxy type thing to me.
Oh yeah, that I definitely saw the influence there.
Yeah, like they were like, Guardians of the Galaxy did really good.
Yeah,
we should make a funny Star Wars movie.
I mean, the movie did its job, right? This movie's only job was to hook you on the new cast.
Yeah,
and it did. I want to see more of Finn. I want to see more of Rey. I mean, more than anything, I want to know who Snoke is.
Yeah. See, that's the problem I think with this movie, and the reason why maybe some people are disappointed with it, is that it's really just a setup movie. Yes. If you really think about it, it's like the first piece of this puzzle that's going to get it started.
Mm-hmm.
And like it was mainly just here to hook you on these characters, get you to like them, and then get you ready for the
following movies,
rest of the lifetime that we have of Star Wars movies.
Yeah,
I know it probably won't happen, and they'll probably just keep making them. But I kind of hope that the episode movies stop for a little while after 9. I know it probably won't happen.
It might, because they've been doing trilogies since Star Wars has been a thing.
Yeah, no.
So they might do the full trilogy for this set of characters, and then do maybe spin-off movies for whoever's.
I wonder what Kylo Ren's redemption's gonna be, because I can only assume that he's gonna come back.
Yeah, he's gonna get redeemed.
He's gonna get redeemed somehow.
It's gonna be a fight between him and Rey's gonna do or say something that makes him realize he was wrong. Or he's gonna go into exile because he killed his father. All this other.
So yeah, let's talk about that. The big spoiler of the movie: Han Solo dies.
Yes.
I felt really emotional about it, but I really expected it.
Really? Because I didn't. I knew as soon as the scene started. I'm like, this is where he bites it.
Yeah.
Because I was debating the whole movie. I'm like, I know they're gonna kill somebody. I'm like, so it's either gonna be Han or Chewie. Those are my two guesses. And I was thinking, I'm like, well, they can throw anybody in the suit and call it Chewie, and nobody's gonna know the difference. But Han, you can't do that. So it's probably gonna be Han. And then they said, oh yeah, Kylo Ren's my son. I'm like, okay, yep, he's the one biting it.
See, I didn't really expect it the whole movie until it got to that part when I was like, no, he's on a catwalk.
Yeah,
if you're in a catwalk in a Star Wars movie, you're dead.
Yeah, you're either losing a hand or you're dead.
Yeah, and I don't see Han Solo losing a hand here.
No.
And see, I
thought Chewbacca's reaction.
Oh, where he just went.
Like he loses it.
Like where he went Juggernog. And
yeah,
then,
he just goes berserk and just starts shooting everybody.
Went on a 15 kill streak.
Yeah, tags Kylo Ren with a bowcaster. How in God's name is he still walking around? That thing was sending stormtroopers 15 feet.
Yeah.
He gets shot in the knee and decides, all right, I'm just going to stand up. Or the hip, sorry.
It's funny. It's like a funny little thing between him and Han, but how in all the years that Han has known Chewie has he never once used the bowcaster?
Yeah, I thought that was odd. And hey, can I borrow that?
Yeah. I liked it though. I thought it was funny and it was a good little character moment when he's just turns him and he goes, I like this thing.
I was worried going in that because, Harrison Ford had aged. He wasn't going to be like the Han Solo we remembered.
See, I was afraid of that too, and mainly because every movie I've seen Harrison Ford in since I'm trying to think when the last time I've really seen him put in a really good performance was he just kind of phones it in a lot of things. Even in Indiana Jones, which is his thing that he really loves to be in.
Yeah.
He likes Indy better than Han and stuff, and he's never really wanted to do another Star Wars movie, and that was another thing that made me go oh, he's probably gonna die in this one because he's been in these press junkets saying how much he loves this movie and how much it's he's happy because he doesn't have to do it anymore.
Yeah.
So something I knew there was gonna be something like that.
My dad said the same thing. He's like, it was probably a casting deal with Harrison Ford. He's like, they probably couldn't get him back for the whole trilogy. So they're like, all right.
But he was really good. He stepped right back into the role.
Some parts I thought were a little shaky, but I mean,
the only parts I thought were shaky was when he was talking to Leia. The two of them, she was not very good. She was fine, but there was nothing special. That character could have been played by anybody. Yeah,
there's nothing that she brought to that role. I think anyway.
It was nice to see her back again and stuff, and it was obviously the two of them have a little kind of rapport there, but
yeah,
I thought the scenes of the two of them weren't very good. Although I did like her one joke about something when are you ever helpful? Don't say the Death Star.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny.
I liked that.
There was a lot of comedy in the movie.
Yeah.
When they were on the I forget the name of the planet, the snow one, when they were trying to blow up
that's the Starkiller base.
Yeah, the Starkiller base.
Yeah. I think that's the only name it has.
Yeah, I think so. And they were fighting and Han's like, that's not how the Force works.
Oh no, yeah, when they first get there and he's like, what department were you in when you were here? And he was like, I was in sanitation. He goes, sanitation? How do you know how to turn off the thing? He's like, I don't. And he's like, how are you going to figure it out? We'll use the Force. That's not how the Force works. I loved that scene.
And then she was like, I don't care if you're cold.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you're cold?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. It was... So, I kind of want to wrap it up here. Give me your overall thoughts, and I'll let you decide. Number or letter grade? Figure it out while you're doing it. Give me your final thoughts, your wrap up, and then at the end, if you go by number or letter, that's how
I thought it was good. It was. I feel it was average. It's not one of those movies I would see again and again in a movie theater, but I would watch a bunch of times if I had it on Blu-ray and DVD, which is coming out in August, by the way. So
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I noticed that they had like already the pre-order for the Blu-ray up like the weekend it came out. But
because they're not stupid.
I just want to ask one question.
Yes.
While you're wrapping up, better or worse than the prequels? To you, because I know you like the prequels. Like,
I kind of do like the prequels. The whole Roger thing.
Roger.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it's better, but by a slight margin.
Really, I think it's a lot better than the prequels, at least. My problem that I've stated with the prequels before is that they feel very soulless and lifeless.
Yeah.
Because it's people just hanging out in a blue room for the majority of it.
A lot of the plot is rushed, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of minute problems with that.
Acting isn't great.
But I feel like that gets counteracted in A Force Awakens because like I'd seen the whole plot before.
Yeah, that's the
So like, give Lucas all the crap you want.
Yeah.
He knew not to make another Death Star, so he didn't.
But I thought that overall the acting was better and the getting the story across was better. But I'm gonna let you finish with your wrap up.
Yeah, like I said, there were a lot of small things that really bugged me about the movie that honestly bring it down. Like the Darth Vader helmet thing and the...
Oh, you didn't like the Darth Vader helmet thing?
I thought it was cool, but like, it's supposed to be fireproof, and they gave him the Viking funeral. So how does he have the helmet, and two, why is it melted?
See, I know we were wrapping up, but I forgot to talk about this aspect that I liked about Kylo Ren is that he's like this like
Fanatic,
like dark side fanboy.
Yeah, like he wants to be Darth Vader.
Yeah, like he probably has like a Darth Vader poster on his wall that he like
Yeah.
kisses every night before he goes to bed.
People are theorizing that the crystal he uses in his lightsaber, it's cracked. They're thinking it's Darth Vader's old crystal.
See, and here's the thing too,
I'd actually be really upset if that was the case.
I assume he's been scouring the galaxy for little trinkets like that.
Yeah.
Like the crystal and the helmet, and like the way he reacts when Rey has it's Anakin's old lightsaber, but it was Luke's before, from the old trilogy, is the way he reacts to it, and he's like, "That's my lightsaber, give it to me." Like he wants that for his collection because it was Anakin Skywalker's.
Yeah.
So, I like that aspect of his character. I'm curious where it's gonna go with that, and whether he really just wants to follow in the footsteps of.
I'm hoping that he comes back as more of a badass and more of a... like, after he does Snoke's training or whatever that entails.
Yeah.
I was honestly surprised that, like, Han died in this movie, because what I was expecting was, okay, so Snoke has said that he's not a finished Jedi. He's not a Sith, because he didn't adopt the name Darth, but...
Yeah.
He needs to finish his training, so I'm surprised they didn't do the stereotype of, okay... You go off, you train with Snoke, and your final completion, what to do to finish your training is you have to kill your father. That's what I was expecting.
I'm thinking maybe that proved to Snoke that he was ready to finish.
Yeah, apparently the book goes into so much more detail that doesn't get mentioned, which makes me want to read the book now.
That's what I've heard. Snoke, though, like, he says the thing, like, are you sure that you're up for this challenge?
Yeah.
And that makes me think, like, maybe to Snoke, this is, like, a challenge for him to
prove that he's worth moving forward on. Can we talk about Phasma real quick? I know we're supposed to wrap up, but yeah, I'm really disappointed in that. Like she was supposed to be
a nothing character.
Yeah, like she was supposed to be really she was supposed to be the new Boba Fett.
She literally was the new Boba Fett. She's such a nothing character if you watch the movie. I'm sure in the book and maybe when extended universe stuff comes out, I mean, Phasma will be awesome.
You know she's not dead. Whenever a named character dies, quote, off screen, they're never dead.
Yeah, because that was weird with the whole thing of like...
Do they have a trash chute?
Yeah, I liked that. Like, a little callback.
Yeah, and I don't know if you're seeing this, but I've been over like Reddit and a lot of the...
Are you talking about
the spinny...
Yeah.
The traitor...
It's become a...
Stormtrooper. So those of you who are unaware, just glance over at like the Star Wars Reddit or any other,
Or I think there's...
image-based... social network.
Obviously, people listening to this probably have seen the movie, but even if you kept listening and you haven't seen the movie, I think it's in one of the commercials.
Yeah, he is in the commercial, but you don't get his line. His what the fans have named him TR8R for traitor because he yells traitor and whips out this giant like shock baton.
Why do they have that? I wonder.
I imagine to combat the
I figure because like the way it works is that he combats like a lightsaber with it, but like
well, that was the First Order's job, was to get rid of Luke Skywalker and any other Jedi he'd managed to train.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
So they trained him in hand-to-hand combat with those
See,
shock tonfa.
I didn't even think about that. Like, I thought that scene was cool, that fight thing and that little twirl he does.
Yeah,
But
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they brought him back. Like, I know he got shot, but I wouldn't be surprised if they brought him back just as a little fan service, because people love him.
I found out that literally like yesterday. I was scrolling through Facebook, and Facebook has just become the place where if you want to see videos of memes, you go to Facebook.
Yeah.
And it was, someone shared a video of that spin move with "you spin me right round" over it, and I liked that. And I love that he's become like a meme.
Yeah, Phasma was supposed to be the new cool Boba Fett character that everybody went nuts over.
But no.
And this nameless stormtrooper is the one that everybody is flipping out about.
You know, you know the movie The Social Network?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Well, yeah, I figured you haven't seen it. It's the movie about the making of Facebook or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's a scene in it where he made like this little thing that was like a hot or not thing where you picked between two girls which one was hotter, and it was for all the people at his school or whatever. And so in the movie he gets like a note passed to him in class that says like you're a dick or something like that. I forget what exactly it says, but they've taken that scene and like photoshopped over it like a note that says traitor, and then it cuts to the shot of the person and it's Kylo Ren and then it's Finn as like Mark Zuckerberg.
I've seen that. I've seen every adaptation of this. Like I've seen it for Powerpuff Girls, like the opening when he's making them. It's like, you know.
Oh yeah, and it's like loyalty.
Yeah, like there's so many. Like
Yeah.
It amazes me what people latch on to, honestly. But
it's like how earlier this year John Cena was the biggest meme.
Yeah, and now he's having to compete with a nameless stormtrooper.
Yeah. But so Phasma, I really like. I thought they set her up to be like this cool thing. She didn't even. I don't think she fired once.
No,
that whole movie.
Nope, she never. At least I never.
She commanded a firing squad.
Yeah. People were saying that the scene with that spinny stormtrooper, the traitor guy. That should have been Phasma, because at least then she would have had some sort of screen time that meant something.
Yeah, that would have been... I would have been a little cool had she had that spinny moment.
Yes.
Where she gets to fight him, but you couldn't have killed Phasma in that scene. That's really the only way that fight would have ended.
Yeah. I mean, they could have ended it with like a X-Wing blast to the ground and knocks her away or something stupid.
Yeah, they could have, but that would have been...
Oh, speaking of which, that scene with where you get like the parallel of Finn fighting on the ground with Poe in the air.
Dameron spinning around and shooting everything.
I really like that scene.
I think a lot of the action scenes in this are very good.
Yeah, and stormtroopers are finally competent. Like they're not completely useless anymore.
Yeah, that was nice to see.
Yeah, but overall, I think I can do both. I'll do a letter and a number.
Okay.
I would give it an 8.
An 8. So
high 7, low 8, and
it's like a B.
B plus. I would say
plus?
B plus. Too much like A New Hope, but on its own, it got me hooked on the cast, so it did its job.
I would go 9. If we're doing halves, 9.5. Because if it wasn't so much like A New Hope, that would help it a lot. And if some of the new characters got better stuff to do, like Phasma. And Kylo Ren is cool, and I like Kylo Ren as a villain, but like he doesn't do much in the movie.
What was that whole slapping himself on the side thing during the
fight?
I
loved that. I thought that was so cool because he was just like pumping himself up. He was like, let's go.
My brother pointed out to me, he goes, I think he was punching where he got shot because I guess the dark side...
No, he got shot in the leg.
Yeah, wasn't he punching himself in the hip?
No, he was punching himself in the chest.
Was he? It looked like he was
doing
punching
like a
himself.
chest pump thing. Like he was in the middle of football and just got a touchdown.
I didn't like that. I thought he looked stupid.
A lot of the stuff he does, I think he wants to make himself look cool. Like I think that's what it is, but he can't.
Yeah, because it looked like he was punching himself where he got shot. My brother was like, "Well, maybe he's trying to make himself hurt more because the dark side's powered by pain." I'm like,
right.
Okay, that makes sense.
Well, you could still do that anyway because like he punches himself in the chest pretty hard.
Yeah, and he did get shot in the shoulder, and I'm honestly.
Did he get shot in the shoulder? No, I think he got
poked with the lightsaber in the shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Also, how is Finn not paralyzed for the rest of his life? He got slashed right up his spine.
Yeah, he did get slashed right up his spine.
I assume they could replace that with some sort of robotic thing.
Yeah, you now have a robotic spine.
Yeah, because we're in the Star Wars universe, but like...
why was Luke's hand all skeleton? Like, in the other movies, it was a full hand, and now it's like...
No, all right. Well, here's the thing about 70s movies with like at least with their special effects.
Yeah, I know, because it wasn't a...
The reason why it's a full hand, he had a robot hand.
Yeah.
Like when you see it was a robot hand, and all it had was a glove over it. That's why we perceive it
as a robot hand. Yeah.
That's why we perceive it to be a full hand, but really I think it is just a robot hand. Either that or maybe living in Ireland, because that last scene was clearly shot in Ireland.
It's one of those northern countries.
Yeah. Living in Ireland for so long, maybe by the sea, has eroded the skin on it. I don't know. If there is like
it looked weird.
It was odd. It was odd too, because like in her little flashback thing, he has like a full hand.
Yeah, that's what I thought was really weird. Like he went from having a full hand. That scene never got explained either. Like
that
flashback thing where like like he's touching R2, and I don't know.
Over that you can hear Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Can you? I didn't listen.
Yeah, it is Ewan McGregor from the prequels, and they have quotes of Alec Guinness from A New Hope.
Cool.
And Yoda's in there too.
Which makes you think that... So the next episode...
So she's going to get visited by Force ghosts at some point.
The next episode is going to be the same thing it was with Luke and Yoda. It's going to be her training with...
Yeah,
because Luke is the Yoda.
Luke's going to hang out on her back. And
exactly, make her lift an X-Wing out of Dagobah.
Exactly. He's gonna bring her all the way to Dagobah.
Yeah, just to lift the X-Wing. She has to go in that cave and...
I was really expecting a line between the two of them at the end, in that weird scene.
Yeah, it was just weird silence. Although, that's kind of a running theme where the last scene of every Star Wars movie doesn't have any dialogue.
No, I know.
With the exception of prequels, I think.
No, is there one?
I think one of the...
No, I think they're all silent at the end.
Isn't one of the prequels ends with someone shouting?
Oh, Jar Jar shouts at the end during the festival.
Yeah.
So I guess that technically counts as dialogue, but he's just kind of going like a Yahoo or whatever. Like he's excited. Other than that, though, I think they all end in silence.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. It was awkward.
It was. I was expecting her to say "Dad" or something like that.
Yeah, something would have been nice.
Or like
you lost this.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Make a joke.
Or even like him to like force grab the lightsaber from her. Just something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Overall, though, wrapping up with my thoughts of it, I really enjoyed it. It was good to see Star Wars back in such a positive light. I really liked the opening crawl a lot. I thought that really set my expectations.
No Disney logo.
Yeah.
I thought that was nice of them.
I liked that. I liked that it got into the movie really quick. Because, most of the time you have, like, the long thing of logos. Like, it's a joke on CinemaSins, 34 seconds of logos. Or however many seconds of logos. Like, it was literally, like, 1 second of a Lucasfilm logo, and then a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
I assume it's going to get a positive during its CinemaSins episode for that.
Probably.
But, yeah. So, overall, I think I'd give it, like, a 9.5 A to middling A+.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think I'm going to go with A. I'm going to give it an A.
Fair enough.
I'm really excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, honestly, the only thing, like I said, this movie did its job. It was supposed to hook you on the new cast and make you want to see more. And I don't think there's anybody, whether you like the movie or not, who doesn't want to see more of these characters.
Yeah, like, even if you didn't like the movie, a lot of the complaints I've heard of why people don't like the movie is its similarity to it.
Its similarities. I've heard people don't like the Rey thing, and, like, there's a bunch of reasons. But regardless of what it is...
They don't like that there's a black guy.
I honestly I think he's my favorite part of the movie.
I like him a lot.
I think him and BB-8 are my two favorite parts of the movie.
I like the little thumbs up between them, too.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good movie. I'd recommend people see it still.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like Star Wars. It'll make you a believer, I think.
Yeah, if you haven't seen any of the Star Wars movies, because there are people like that out there who haven't watched, like, A New Hope, then watch this one. Yeah. This will be your New Hope.
Yeah, it's...
Which I feel like is partly, I think that was kind of its purpose. Everybody's hyped up about Star Wars, and people who haven't seen Star Wars are like, I don't know, okay, I guess I'll see it.
Because everybody in the world is going to see it. It's breaking records left and right.
Yeah, it was like the fastest movie to $1 billion or whatever it was.
Yeah, it already beat the number 10 movie of all time, which was Minions.
Yeah.
So it's in the top 10 of all time, so...
Yeah, so, like, this was a new generation's A New Hope, is what this was. Which, as long as episode 7 and 8 don't turn into Empire Strikes Back and...
That will be the real deciding factor. If the next movie is Empire...
Yeah, I'm going to be annoyed.
I'm going to be annoyed. And I'm going to set my expectations accordingly for episode 9.
Yeah.
which I think episode 9 will actually be the Return of the Jedi of this, where it will be the disappointing third one, just because the guy who's directing it, I don't think is great.
You don't like what's his name?
It's Colin Trevorrow. He did Jurassic World. It's a different director for each one this time, it was like that in the old trilogy, which is nice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even though I would love J.J. Abrams to just stick around.
Yeah, points for J.J. for killing off a main character in your first movie.
Yeah.
Like, good on him.
Good on him, and he did it somewhat tastefully. Like, it wasn't bad, and it wasn't
I thought the scene was rushed, but other than that, I understand why it had to happen, but...
It was so telegraphed that it was going to happen.
Yeah. Which I think you kind of had to with a character like Han Solo.
Yeah.
Like, if you had his death come out of the blue, people would have had an outrage. So, I think because it was so telegraphed. Speaking of which, we were supposed to wrap this up like 20 minutes ago.
I know.
What's our record time at?
We're at 35 minutes.
Okay, so
but,
that's about where we wanted.
It's about where we wanted. I kind of wanted... I kept thinking of more things I wanted to say.
Yeah, and I'm sure as soon as we end this recording, 30 seconds later, we're both going to think of something
We'll probably end up having a longer conversation after this about things.
Probably.
Like we did last time we recorded our last episode.
But as a recap, I gave it a B+, you gave it an A.
Yeah. Go see it.
9, 8, whatever.
I guess if you average it together, it's an 8.5.
8.5.
Yeah.
So, solidly average movie.
Solidly pretty good. I was glad that it wasn't just a movie. Jeez. That sneeze was loud.
Oh, did I mute the mic? I didn't. Oops.
Great.
Sorry, people on the audio.
Well, at least it was away from the mic.
Yeah. I hope that wasn't too loud.
But thanks for listening to this bonus review thing of Complete with DLC. Maybe we'll do this again in a couple months for Batman v Superman.
Yeah, probably. Oh, Christ.
Unless, are you going to go see Deadpool?
Yes.
Then we'll do it for Deadpool, and then Batman v Superman. Alright.
The movie review section of Complete with DLC.
Exactly. It'd be little bonus episodes.
Yeah.
Alright. This has been Complete with DLC. I'm Jacob Griffin.
I'm Brad Knight.
And thank you for listening.